The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those.
So can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look at my soul. I've been afraid I would follow alone. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Tuesday edition of Running Point on ysnlive.com. Ron Potesta with you. It's a big day, not just around these parts. It's a big day across the country. We'll get to that in a little bit. The MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business, 330-886-0813. That's 330-886-0813. So last night, I'm speaking with my parents who already voted. They voted prior to today. As everyone knows, today is election day. It's a pretty significant election. We're going to go off sports topic for just a second. So last night, I'm speaking with my parents, and they said, "Hey, you realize that polls open at 6:30 tomorrow morning?" I said, "Okay." They go, "Well, I mean, if you want to vote before you get to YSN to do your show, you could probably do that." I said, "Okay." I said, I think I can do that. I'm not going to wake up at, and be there at 6:30. That's absurd. I like my sleep. But I did wake up at somewhere in the vicinity of 6:45. Somewhere in that neighborhood. I was over there by 7 o'clock. Now, where I vote is the old South Range High School. That's on, what is it, 164? I always get 164 and 165 confused. It's South Avenue Extension. Easy way to put it. South Avenue Extension. The old South Range High School. Now, I was thinking they were going to put it in the gym. It's not in the gym. It's in one of the cubicles or one of the old classrooms of the old South Range High School. All right, whatever. And I get there, and I swear to you folks, for the first time ever in a presidential election, first time this has ever happened to me. Normally, when I go to vote, I'm not standing in line. And if I am standing in line, it's no more than 3 or 4 minutes. And I pull out my driver's license, which is my identification. I pull out the card that's given to me because they always mail you some information. Oh, by the way, this is where you're supposed to go. This is the precinct in which you are supposed to vote. And you pull that out and you pull a driver's license or some kind of identification out. And then they look at you on their list, which now is computerized. It used to be where they would have to go find this big-ass book and start fiddling around with the pages and go, oh, there's the P section. There you are. And then you signed the book. This time around, it was all computerized, and they said, well, do me a favor, use the back portion of what we've given you and sign your name on this. Well, between you and me, the idea of trying to sign something that's not flat where you're doing this, but it's up here where you have to do this, big difference. I mean, my handwriting is to shit anyway. When I when I put it on the floor or on a table, I mean, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad handwriting. Far worse doing one of these numbers, but I did. And you do the thing, you get a ballot, and it took me about 4 or 5 minutes to get through the ballots and him and ha, and okay, who's going up against who, and you already had everything in mind. and you walked out the door. It took an hour. I'm not kidding, kids. It took an hour from the time I waited to the time I voted to the time I got out of the building and into my car. It took an hour. And that is by far and away the longest I have ever had to wait in a presidential election. And this would be, okay, I got to think about this for a second. I turned 18 in 82. The first election that I voted in was 84. So do some quick arithmetic, Ron. 84, 88, 92, 96, 2000, 4, 8, 12, 16. This is my 10th presidential election that I have voted on. By far and away. And it's not even close. This is the longest I had to wait. And to that, bravo. Bravo. I'm glad. I am so glad that there are people that are understanding that this, not just this presidential election, every presidential election, and dare I say, every election should be this way. Every election should be everyone going to the polls. I said this to someone, complete stranger behind me. I said this, we had a conversation, and I think the conversation started where both of us forgot our mask, and we had to go back to the car and put the mask on because you had to have a mask on to go inside. There are no two ways about this. And, this welcome to COVID. And I had this conversation with this guy, and I said something that we both agreed on. Of all the freedoms that we have in this country, by far and away, the greatest freedom that we have in this country is the exact freedom that I would venture to say 60% of the Americans don't give a rat's ass about, and that is voting. And that is tragic. It's tragic, and it's borderline criminal. And I am so happy that when it's all said and done, forget about who you're voting for a second. Forget about who you're voting for a second. Forget about who you're hoping to win in this election. That's irrelevant. All of that is irrelevant right now. The fact that close to 80% of people in this country are going to vote today, that in and of itself is an amazing number. But it's a number that should have been done year after year after year. Because, kids, this is the greatest freedom that we have. This is by far and away the greatest freedom that we have. And I'm so glad that 80% of the country, or close to 80% of the country, is going to actually get off their ass and vote. Makes me happy. By the way, this is what was given to me. And I don't know if anyone got one of these bad boys. This is what was given to me for the sticker. This is not one of the I voted stuff. I don't know why I was given this. Everyone that went to my precinct was given this. This is a pretty cool sticker. I mean, this is a really cool sticker. And it's not getting stuck on me by any stretch of the imagination. This is one of those things that I'm just going to be keeping. This is one of those things where I'm just going to sit back and go, hey, man, I ain't putting this on anything. I'm keeping this. Going to remind me of, by the end of the night, it's going to remind me of something good or something bad, depending on which candidate winds up winning this election. Hopefully the candidate that I voted for wins the election, but that's neither here nor there. I'm just pleased, beyond pleased, that for the first time ever, I had to stand in line and wait for about an hour. And that tells me that for whatever reason today, this election has brought out everybody. And I applaud that. I applaud that. I don't care who you voted for. The fact that most Americans are going to exercise the greatest freedom that we have as Americans. The fact that you're going to go out and you're going to vote, who cares who you vote for? I don't. The fact that you're going out and voting, that's all I need to hear. And shame on you for those that are not voting. Shame on you. Because you're not taking advantage of the absolute greatest freedom that we have in this country, and it's not even close. Oh, we have the freedom of speech, and we can, within reason, say what you want about things. We have freedom of the press, which I'm very grateful for, by the way. Thank you very much. We have a lot of other freedoms, but by God, I will say this till the day they bury me. The greatest freedom that we have, far and away, it's not even close. Greatest freedom that we have is what we do every election day, and I'm glad that people are now starting to wake up and say, hey, man, maybe I'm going to go out and do some voting today. Oh, good. About time. And for you first-timers, hopefully you're coming back next year. By the way, and it's just an editorial comment, and I have a lot of editorial comments in case you haven't heard this show. I tend to say a lot of things that, piss off some people. We'll get to that one in just a second as well, because there's a lot of things that need to be cleaned up, unfortunately. Look, Election Day should be a national holiday. I'll just flat out say it. It should be. It should be a national holiday. It should be right up there with Thanksgiving. It should be right up there with Christmas. It should be right up there with Labor Day. It should be right up there with Memorial Day, 4th of July, and every other freaking holiday that we have in this country. Election Day should be a national holiday. I said it. It should be. Maybe that would bring more people out to vote. I don't know. What I do know is I waited an hour to vote, and I am so freaking proud that I did, because it tells me that people are now starting to take advantage of and do what is, without a shadow of a doubt, the greatest freedom that we have, and that is voting. And if you haven't voted yet, get your tuckus over to the polls, because it's pretty significant. I think it is. Every election is significant, but a presidential election, a little more spice into the significance. It's just my opinion. All right, 330-886-0813, the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business. On to something that probably needs to be said, and I can't believe I have to say this, but we're going to say it anyway. Okay, so yesterday, apparently, a couple of people got the wrong impression of a sarcastic comment that was mentioned. And it probably, looking back on things, looking back on everything, probably shouldn't have been said. But, I get I said it because I wanted to be a smartass, but I also wanted to just have light of the moment. I'm sure most everyone understands a couple of things. Number one, I broadcast the Crestview games for YSN this year. And the reason why, and I'm sure that everyone knows this by now as well. If not, I'll share it with you. No big deal. Anthony Cusick is my nephew. My sister was married to Coach Cusick. They had two kids, one is which has graduated. Anthony is a junior. And they got beat on Saturday night by South Range. Now, here's the thing that people need to understand. Okay, here's something that people need to understand. I got over that the moment that Crestview lost to South Range. I just did. And what happened? Oh, well, okay. I wanted to be a smartass. I just basically wanted to have some fun in light of what had happened. Oh, South Range won. The wrong team won. I was being sarcastic. I kind of wish that people would have realized that I was being sarcastic. Apparently, not many people saw it as sarcasm, to which I apologize. I probably should have laughed a little bit louder. But trust me when I tell you, kids, it was sarcasm. It was absolute sarcasm. And here's another little tidbit, and I hope people understand where I'm coming from. And then we're going to take a timeout, and then I'm just going to bury this because that's what it needs to be right now. For the last 5 years prior to YSN, I had a show. I'm sure everyone recognizes the fact that I had a show because it was pretty damn popular back in the day. Sports Wrap, noon to 3 on the Sports Animal 1390. It was also 3 to 6. They had me move around a little bit, whatever. For 5 years previous, I did the exact same thing that I did yesterday. Who has the best avenue to go to the state semifinals and who has the least avenue? And the least avenue doesn't mean you're automatically going to lose. It just means you have the least avenue. Done it for the last 5 years. There's no disrespect to anybody. Absolutely not. Does all 5 teams have a chance to win this weekend? God damn right they do. And yeah, I said what I said. You're damn right they do. Absolutely all 5 teams have a shot at winning the game. I'm just pointing out who has, discussion-wise, the best avenue and who doesn't have the best avenue. But that doesn't mean that all of a sudden, these guys are all going to lose. No. Every single one of these teams have a shot to win this weekend. I mean, if they didn't have a shot to win, they might as well just not play the dang game. Of course you have a shot to win. People need to just understand this is, he broadcasts the Crestview games and he has family, therefore he doesn't like us. Get the hell out of here. Stop with that. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I'm going to be rooting like hell for South Range on Saturday against Kirtland. And here's the other thing that people need to understand. You want to know why I put down Kirtland's resume? You want to know why? Because it's freaking good. 11 times in the regional championship game. They're on a 38-game winning streak. They've won 2 straight state championships. 159 wins and 8 losses in the last 11 years. Hell yeah, that's impressive. But guess what? It's going to be even more impressive if South Range hangs a 9 next to the 8, which is why I brought this up. If South Range wins, by the way, this is the team that they beat. The team that's been to the regional championship game in all the last 11 years. The team that in 10 trips to the regional finals prior to this Saturday has won 8 of the 10 regional championships, 5 state championships, 3 state runner-ups, 2 regional runner-ups, and an 11-year record of 159 wins and 8 losses. And, oh, by the way, 2-time state champs on a 38-game winning streak. And I want so badly for South Range to put a 9 instead of the 8. And to say otherwise, then you don't know me very well. You don't know me very well. I was being objective. And objectively, South Range has a steep mountain to climb. Of the other 5 teams, objectively, South Range has the steepest mountain to climb. To say otherwise would be foolish. Doesn't mean they can't get it done. Hell, I think South Range has a shot to get it done. All I mentioned was they got the steepest mountain to climb of the other 5. Of the 5 teams left, they got the steepest mountain to climb. Doesn't mean they're not going to climb it. It just means they have the steepest mountain to climb. That's all I meant. And I can't believe I had to talk about that, but okay, so be it. All right, 330-886-0813. Coming up on the show, Doug Chapin from the Tribune Chronicle and the Vindicator. He is the sports editor, don't you know? We'll talk with him at 1 o'clock. We'll take some phone calls at 330-886-0813. I got to ask, being that it is Election Day, I got to ask. And I'm not going to ask about who you voted for because, frankly, that's none of my business. I mean, you vote your conscience. I voted mine today. That's for damn sure. I'm going to ask. Should Election Day be a national holiday? Because I think it should be. Honest to God, I think Election Day should be a national holiday. I really do. Now, there would be some that would sit back and say Super Bowl Sunday should be a national holiday. I would say that the day after the Super Bowl should be the holiday. Because let's be honest, a lot of folks will tend to stuff themselves with wings and football food, and let's be honest for a second. Some of y'all, and I might be included in this every once in a while, especially when the Bills went 0 for 4 in the early 90s, may have consumed a little too much of the adult beverages. Hence, the day after should be the national holiday because, well, in my case, in the early 90s, hungover and really didn't give a crap about life because my team got skunked 4 years in a row. But that's neither here nor there. Should Election Day be a national holiday? We should throw that out there. MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business. 330-886-0813. That's 330-886-0813. With you till 3 o'clock. It is a gorgeous, little cold, but it's a gorgeous Tuesday. The snow is gone, thank goodness. Mother Nature had a little bit of fun yesterday. The snow is gone, and actually we're going to be really nice Indian summer weather all the way to the rest of the week, which is really good, especially for high school football. You're going to actually have a mid-September, late September type of feel to playoff football, which I think is going to be phenomenal. All right, 330-886-0813. We're back in a minute. It is a Tuesday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet, Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Now, listen, I need to say this because some of you might be in the market for a car. Lord knows I have over 200,000 miles on my Ford 500, which, I don't know, at some point in time it used to be a Taurus. What was it? Back in the day, they had a Taurus. Then they kind of said no to the Taurus, but this was in between the Taurus and the car that they have now, and I can't remember the name of the car that they have now that used to be the Taurus. Anyway, the 500 used to be the step in between the two cars. Anyway, I got a beautiful Ford 500. It has over 200,000 miles on it. And at some point in time, yes, I am going to have to be in need of a car, whether it be new, used, whatever. Well, when that time comes, knock on wood, not for another 30 or 40,000 miles, but I digress. When that time comes, the first people that I'm going to visit, Greg Greenwood and his wonderful people over at Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Think about it like this. If Greenwood Chevrolet were a sports team, a professional sports team, they'd be a freaking dynasty. Now think about this for a second. When you're trying to get a car, when you're in the market for a car, there are three things that you always look for in a dealership. Number one, the sales department has to be on point. They got to be fair. They can't be shysters. They can't be someone that's going to give you a lemon and screw you in the same motion. So you got to have a sales department that's honest and a sales department that's not going to screw you. That's number one. Number two, you have to have a solid finance department because, well, let's be honest, some of us don't have the greatest credit in the world. It just is what it is. I mean, you make mistakes when you're younger, and it kind of affects your credit. Okay, whatever. You got to have a pretty good finance department to give you the best deal for the car in which you're going to purchase. And number three, and probably the single most important thing once you purchase the car, is the ultimate fact that, well, at some point in time, your car is going to be needing service. Now, okay, the oil change every 3,000 miles or whatever the hell they tell you to do. The tires being rotated, okay, that's normal stuff. I'm talking about other things. Like if something were to go wrong with your transmission or something goes wrong with wiring or some craziness like that, the service department has to be top notch. Well, here's the deal with Greenwood Chevrolet. Sales department, solid. Unbelievably solid sales department. Unbelievably solid finance department because, well, you got to have both. You can have a salesperson, but if you don't have a really good finance department, then you're SOL when it comes to getting a car, because if these guys don't do their job and your credit is kind of, then you may not be able to get the car. So yin and yang, and they both go together. And the service department, ridiculously good. So if Greenwood Chevrolet were a sports franchise, yeah, they'd be a dynasty. Pretty much. And that's one of the reasons why, if you're in the market for a new or a used car, you need to sashay your backside over to Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown and check out the fine cars that they have there. All right, there you go. 330-886-0813, the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline, open for business. We take a TO, and we're back in a bit. It's a Tuesday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Back in a bit.
I went to Greenwood Chevrolet.
21 News.
Let's get right to our top story tonight.
More experienced reporters
A new Wilmington restaurant.
GM Lordstown.
telling more local stories
We'll look at efforts
Boy
to
is
curb
recovering from a broken.
around our
Good
valley.
afternoon. We are here in Youngstown, right up.
Because you expect
It's important for everyone.
No place like home.
more local news.
In Mercer County Court.
Become life threatening.
21 News is our valley's #1 local news.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends: shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
Attention football fans, order Coca's Pizza tailgate package for only $54.99. You'll receive 24 slices of our delicious cheese pizza, 20 jumbo wings, and 2 of our famous foot-long pepperoni rolls. Coca's Pizza, we serve it hot.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
Your Armstrong services are more important than ever. There are more and more connected devices in the home these days. To get the most out of your experience, you need a network that is always getting better. You deserve superior performance, and that's what Armstrong offers every day. Whether you're working from home, enjoying your favorite content together, or simply catching up while apart, count on Armstrong to keep you connected to what matters most.
I went to Greenwood Chevrolet because
I was really interested in looking at the tracks.
because I wanted my dream truck.
Because I've been going there for 20 years. I think whenever we go there, whatever car we're looking for, they have tremendous inventory.
If you're looking for people who care about you, Greenwood is the place to go.
You know, it's like family there. The girls know me in service. It's Miss Kim in the Tahoe.
I'm really happy that I went
To Greenwood Chevrolet.
Because they really went
The extra mile for me.
Now we're going the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet. For heating, cooling, and indoor air quality, the Mahoning Valley trusts MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning, offering worry-free repair, service, and installation. Call MP Vivo today for a free estimate.
MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. We're your energy efficient experts.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in the Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gberbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Berbick Farms, it just tastes better.
Jim Myers with Myers Family Insurance, your local Medicare and retirement resource. We're excited to have sports back. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, sports unifies communities and brings hope for the future. We're all one team working together. At Myers Family Insurance, we know the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Rain will come and go tomorrow. There'll be some dry intervals.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Hi everyone, this is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN.
Ah, the details. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is one fine ride. Perfect cornering, superb handling, sporty and stylish, power to spare, plus awesome mileage. Yeah, jaw-droppingly beautiful lines and well appointed with luxurious trim. Put more oomph in your life and start beholding the molding. Find your home's fine hardwood at BairdBrothers.com.